All right, well, welcome to our 10 a.m. Collider coffee break, where we connect with you for a few minutes every Friday morning at 10 a.m. to let you know the latest news and updates from Collider this week. So thanks for joining us for a few minutes this morning. So it's been a big week this week, so I'll turn it over to Jamie to start us off.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to congratulate Shrpa. Shrpa did a lot of things this week, it seems like. So it was announced this week that Shrpa was accepted into the gBETA Greater Minnesota Accelerator. So that was a huge thing. They've already started work as with that current cohort of 4 different companies, which is really cool. And you know, we talk about COVID being good and bad, but really at the end of the day, I think without COVID, they would have never done this virtual accelerator. So I think it'll help just move Sherpa forward. And again, a great regional story. That regional story continues. So this week was the finals of the Minnesota Cup, and Sherpa received a $10,000 prize during the competition for being recognized for the most innovative startup in Greater Minnesota. So there were a lot of companies competing, and it was really a testament to Sherpa and Andy and Chris and the work that they've been doing, that they were recognized as the most innovative startup in Greater Minnesota. So congratulations to Sherpa. They've done a fantastic job, and continued success. The next thing I wanted to talk about was yesterday I was on a panel for Twin Cities Startup Week talking about rural innovation. So it was really highlighting what's going on in Greater Minnesota, and that rural innovation just isn't about food or ag. It can be a number of things. So we highlighted Sherpa again. Chris joined us on the panel to talk about really the business of agritourism and getting to know the local and support the local businesses that really make your community a strong community. And then we had Jack from Poultry Patrol, which is using a very automated robotic system with turkey flocks, and so talking about engineering and technical pieces that can help and thrive in rural environments. So it was a great talk, and really exemplified the work that's been done with our E1 partnership to really solidify the resources that that 14 other organizations in Southeast region have to really benefit entrepreneurs. So really enjoyed taking part in that, and hopefully we'll see more of this virtual Twin Cities Startup Week. I think today or yesterday was the last day, and there were a lot of great panels. I participated in quite a few as just listening sessions, listening in on it. And normally I wouldn't get a chance to do that because I can't spend a solid week up in the Twin Cities. So I think it was a really great time. The final thing I wanted to say is next week, 1 Million Cups comes alive again. So not all the details are worked out as of this recording. So check the 1 Million Cups Rochester page, which I believe is just one. Is it 1 Million Cups?
It's 1 Million Cups.
Dash Rochester? Or Rochester dash 1 Million Cups.
Just Google 1 Million Cups Rochester and you'll find it.
You'll find it. Just make sure you're not in New York. So hopefully we'll hear about some great speakers. And again, the details aren't all solidified yet. But definitely check out that page to find out more and participate. And with that, I'll hand it back to Amanda.
I wanted to just follow up on that too about 1 Million Cups of Rochester, because I think it started here in 2017, I want to say, and now is under kind of some new leadership with Marty Walsh stepping up and Stefan dancing. So, I think that's exactly what's supposed to happen in the community with now Jamie's taking a smaller role. I have stepped back completely from it to let other people lead and to see what they can do with it. So, I just want to say thank you to them because it's a lot of extra work to do. And I think, it's good that the community is mindful of that as well, that, a lot of these things are completely led by volunteers. And if volunteers don't do it, they won't exist anymore. So shout out to Marty and Stefan for stepping up and doing this work in the community here. So I wanted to start off talking about our ecosystem navigators. So we are in the second phase of our ecosystem navigator program to help lower barriers to entrepreneurship here in Rochester, especially amongst entrepreneurial populations that are typically left behind and underserved. So our 3 navigators, we will hopefully have them on this video pretty soon. But you can find out more information about them. We officially have a page now on the Collider website. You can find it at the header. It's just called Ecosystem Navigators, and you can read more about this program, this pilot program there. And you can also send an email and connect in with any one of the 3 navigators on there as well. A reminder to everybody, this is a pilot program, and for this pilot, we had to choose where these navigators would serve because of the strict limitation of their time that we were able to support. So for this pilot program, these navigators are serving the Latino, Hispanic, female, and Black entrepreneurial communities, specifically in Rochester. So if you're an entrepreneur, a small business owner, or an aspiring entrepreneur that fits into those categories, we encourage you to reach out to our navigators to chat. If you don't fall into one of these categories, that doesn't mean that Collider is not going to serve you. We encourage you to reach out to myself or Jamie. If you don't have our emails, it's very simple, just hello@collider.mn, and you will be able to reach both of us, and we will respond to you. So yeah, I'm excited to get them started. They are meeting with some service providers, some leaders in the community, and some entrepreneurial service organizations for the next couple of weeks, and then they will officially be fully launched, but they can start meeting with entrepreneurs now as their schedule and time permits. So welcome to Sarah Louise, Chris, and Julio, and you will see and hear more from them very soon. So on Rochester Rising this week, we aired podcast episode 193, where I got to chat with 2 members of a Rochester-based startup called Nanodropper. So I chatted with CEO Alyssa Song and their marketing manager, Robbie Spencer. Nanodropper launched in 2018 here in Rochester, and they have a split team between Minnesota and Washington State. So we talked a lot about Nanodropper, where the idea for that came about to reduce medical waste, and how they really jump-started a lot of their seed funding through student pitch competitions, which I think is a really interesting thing that a lot of people don't think about. I know you have to be a student to participate in student pitch competitions, but in our other story this week, which was about Minnesota Cup, you can get a nice chunk of seed money through pitch competitions. So Jamie talked about Shrpa, who won some money at Minnesota Cup. We had 3 teams from Olmsted County make it to the finals, which is amazing. Off the top of my mind, I can't remember if we've had other years that have been that successful for getting to the final round in Olmsted County, but this is pretty high up there. We had, besides Shrpa, a second team called CASP Technologies make it to the final round. They came in 3rd place in the youth division, and we had them on the podcast a few weeks ago with their Operation Serenity app. And then winning her division was Beth Finbow of Busy Baby. She won the general division, and she also won, I want to say 2 other prizes, the best women-led startup and best company in a SMIF region, Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation in the region. So she ended up walking away with $60,000 in seed funding, and it's a lot of work to get through this competition, but that just shows, what you can do with putting yourself out there besides getting mentorship and putting in a lot of hard work. So a big congratulations to all 3 of these companies for making it that far, making it to the end, and for being great representatives of Rochester and our region here. So one final thing I wanted to mention today, I just got an email in my email this morning, Rise of the Rest and Opportunity Hub and 100 Black Angels and Allies are putting on an equity edition of the Rise of the Rest tour. This is typically a bus tour. Obviously with COVID, it's not a bus tour, it's virtual, to get venture capitalists, investors in front, or get startups in front of venture capitalists and investors that are not in areas where we typically see investment. So this has a specific focus on equity. It's a startup competition with $2 million of seed funding available as prizes for Black founded companies across the US, headquartered outside of Silicon Valley, Boston, and New York City. So if you know somebody who would be interested in this, would be great to apply. Encourage you to have them check it out. The application for this closes on October 25th, but it's an amazing opportunity, and they have specific focus outside of Silicon Valley, Boston, and New York City. So we will link that in the Facebook as well, or wherever you're listening in. And just a note on that as well, wherever you're listening in, please take a minute to like this video, share this video, and make sure you're subscribed. If you're listening in on Facebook, or you're listening in on Instagram, or listening in on YouTube, that's a huge help to us if you subscribed to our channels. So I will send it over to Jamie for his final thoughts.
Yeah, so one thing I neglected to mention was that Collider was the recipient of a grant from the Rochester Downtown Alliance. It's called Keep It Local. So really the idea of that grant is to, I think it's a pretty smart idea, which is identify a need within an organization. So in our case, it was we were really looking for a way to pay for some video production to really share with the world about what Collider is, as well as highlighting our new ecosystem navigators and creating some really basic educational content that we can start to distribute to entrepreneurs that need it. And so we were honored to be accepted and to receive this grant of $10,000 and to be working with our partner Ambient House Productions and Mike Kramer, who was a tenant of Collider in the very early days and helped us with a lot of our early video needs. He shoots amazing videos. And so we are so honored and excited to start production of kind of a new group of videos that will really highlight all the great work that's done here at Collider, specifically with our ecosystem navigators. So um, that's good news for Collider, and we're really proud to be working with Ambient House. And with that, I'll send it back to Amanda.
All right, thanks so much to everybody for tuning in and sharing a few minutes on your Friday morning with us. Again, remember to take 5 seconds and like this video wherever you are listening in, and make sure you join us next Friday at 10 a.m. Again. So everyone have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for listening.